One time I was sitting in church and I had to fart. I knew it would be dangerous considering I have a supernatural asshole. I felt it coming and the next thing you know the building starts vibrating and the sprinklers got set off. The roof was starting to cave in and I knew it was coming. All the windows were shattering and the ground was wobbling. I did the most chunky, monkey, funky, stunky, bed bunky, tree trunky, gunky, skunky, sloppy, ploppy, moppy, gloppy, mushy, tushy, ooshy gooshy, sushi fart so powerful I needed to get stitches. The walls started to crack and everyone was screaming while hiding under their chairs praying because they thought God was coming down. The danger alarm went off and everyone was calling their family saying they loved them. The roof finally caved in causing more destruction and my whole splitting fart finally stopped. Everyone got out from under the chairs and looked around. There was rubble everywhere and even the brick walls was cracked. They were wondering where God is and I had to act concerned with them. Anyways, my fart made it on the news and was titled as California's most deadliest earthquake. Little did they know it was my ripper ass.
My friend Kayla asked Sarah, what does good morning mean in Spanish? And then Sarah looks at us, looks back at her food, and said, I don't know, I'm still taking Spanish lessons. And we just look at her, that she doesn't even know what good morning means in Spanish. If she had lived in Spain for 6 years, she would have known what it meant. I don't know how, but that incident has spread around the entire school. Every person that walks past Sarah just says, Buenos dias, basically teasing her about not knowing what good morning means in Spanish. And then Sarah didn't show up to school for 3 days after that. And oh boy, we haven't even gotten to the crazy part. The 3 days pass and Sarah comes back to school. As soon as she walks into the class, everyone's eyes was on her. She came up, sat in her seat, and this lady showed up to school.
In my opinion, miraculous is a tiny bit overrated. I mean, sis, don't get me wrong, I ain't no hater, but it's the same in every freaking episode. You know, someone gets angry, then they get akumatized by Hawkmoth. Then Ladybug and Cat Noir come to the rescue and fight a little bit. And then Ladybug uses her, lucky charm, and then they win. Then Hawkmoth, at the end of every single episode, is like, I will get you next time, Cat Noir and Ladybug. Just you wait and see. Miss Girl! Well, it better be soon, Hawkmoth. It's been like 100 episodes, and you ain't even been close. Get your game face on. Get your game face on. He's a little...
So y'all remember how PE teachers used to make you run a mile in elementary school? Well boy, do I have a fucking story for you. So I was out on the field running my second lap and my stomach started hurting because my fucking mom decided to buy McDonald's for breakfast. So I asked the teacher if I could go to the bathroom and that bitch-ass Trump gorilla-looking motherfucker said no, so I just kept running and prayed to Michael Jackson that it would go away. So I'm on my third lap and I have to fart. And on God I pulled an Essa Barrett. So much shit came out that I could literally make a 4-course meal with it. And a chocolate fountain for dessert. I was about to fucking cry. Obviously I wasn't gonna tell my teacher that I shit myself, so I just said I felt like I was gonna throw up. So I go to the clinic literally holding my hands on my ass so nobody would see my shit. When I get to the clinic the nurse tells me to sit down, but in my head I'm like, bitch, if I sit down your chair is gonna look like the chocolate river from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So I just lean on the wall until my mom comes to pick me up. When I stand up off the wall to go to the bathroom, my shit is smeared on the wall and the nurse looks at it and she's like, what the fuck? Was that you? And I was like, ew, hell no, and I run to the bathroom and my whole ass had shit on it, and when my mom picked me up I started crying because she asked what smelled like dog shit and she thought she stepped in something and I had to tell her it was my ass.
Is it just me, or am I the only one, when I'm on YouTube, basically, an ad pops up and it's Grammarly! So, basically, it goes, do you ever need help with your writing? Well, we got the... No! No! I don't need help! I've gotten through elementary school, okay? And I'm currently in middle school, so yes!
When I was little, I found my mom's credit card. And, being a 6-year-old, I saw my mom putting the credit card on her phone, and I knew how she did it. So, I decided that I was going to put it on my phone. So, I put it on my phone, and I was downloading Roblox, because I thought, hey, I can play with my friends here. That day, I spent $2,000 worth of freaking money on Robux. Let's just say a lot of my friends thought I was really cool and rich. When my mom found out, I hid from her for seriously like a day, and then once I got in there, she wasn't mad. She just said I was Captain Robux.
One time when I was 5 or 6, a teacher found a pair of shitty underwear in the bathroom and all the teachers had to line up their students to find out which kid needed to be sent home. My teacher literally went round the class putting her hand into our pants to make sure we had underwear on. I'm still pretty traumatized from feeling her crusty, dusty old woman hand in between my ass cheeks. Anyway, it got to the last kid in my class and my teacher put her hand in his ass, and when she pulled her arm out it was covered in shit. The kid was crying, so was the teacher. One student threw up and they caused a chain reaction and everyone was thrown.
My name is Lindsay and I have a hole in my throat from smoking 50 packs of cigarettes every day. The first time I smoked a cigarette was when I was 17 years old, and I never stopped smoking ever since. I have 2 beautiful girls, Lindsay Jr. and Tiffany. You know, they're out there being successful girls that they should be, and that's what keeps me going every day. I remember the first time the doctor showed me my lungs, and they looked like the ribs I ate last Thanksgiving. My mama said, "Lindsay, don't you let your lungs look like that." And they look like that.
When I was in elementary school, there was this picture day thing, and we had to pay for pictures and other accessories. So we did the usual. We got key fobs, the actual pictures. And for fun we got a metal bottle with my face on the front for an extra $25 or $45. A few days pass and the school gives out all the stuff I purchased. Everything except for my stinking bottle. You know good. And well, I went to Miss We'll call her Beth's office, and I asked her where my bottle was. She told me it would take longer to ship to the school and asked me to wait a week. And a week I waited, and guess what? Nothing happened. So I went back to her office, and she told me that since it was near the end of the year, that it would be here in the fall. I was in no rush to have that bottle, so I waited again. Then I went back to her office, and guess what happened?
If you're having a bad day, I just thought it'd be nice for you to know that a girl who used to be in my class posted a thing to her story that was like, "Oh, like, honest opinions about me, please." And she responded to her own story and said, "Oh my gosh, you're the Heather. Queen Heather. You are the main character. You are so pretty and talented." This would have been fine if she didn't screenshot her own response and post it on her and post it to her story with her username still clearly attached. It was so in character. She was like, "Oh my god, you guys, stop. Like, why does everyone think I'm the Heather?"
I was in class on Zoom. I wanted to go to sleep, honestly, because like when I'm tired, I go to sleep. I end up falling asleep and then class ends and everyone starts leaving the class except me, because I was like in a whole other universe at this point. I was dreaming, I was flying. At this point, me and the teacher are alone in the call. This is the best part. Then the teacher starts talking to me and he's like, "Samantha, wake up. Samantha, please. Samantha, you have another class." He woke me up, but I was half awake, so I didn't really know what was going on. So I thought it was my brother waking me up, and I straight up yelled. I was like, "Shut up, you fat booger." And so then I realized, oh shit, I just called my teacher a fat booger. And now he scheduled a parent conference.
When I was younger, I was in this friend group, and in this friend group it was me and my friend. I'm still friends with her, nope, and there were 3 girls who were 1 year younger than us. I was only in this friend group for like 4 weeks, but as a kid I thought we would be best friends forever. So I decided to get us all friendship bracelets. So that night I made my parents take me to Claire's to get themed. That night I could barely sleep because I was so excited to give bracelets to my friends the next day. The next day I surprised them at lunch and everyone was so happy. We all picked our colors and the rest of the day was pretty normal. Next day of course I wore my bracelet, but everyone else didn't. They acted like the bracelets didn't exist, and when I asked them why they didn't wear theme they didn't say anything. That night I was crying my eyeballs out. Next day my friend apologized. Nobody else did, so me and my friend found another friend group to join.
So this one time Thispic me girl decided to fake breaking her leg at recess. And I was 8 and I believed everything. So I just went on with my day and didn't care. But my mom and me were going to the mall for some clothes. And Pick Me Girl was ethereal, so. And she wasn't using her crutches. Not even her leg brace. And I saw her and she stared back. And when I tell you, this girl started crying her eyes out, SHERA, and out of there faster than the flash. And then the next day,
So I was sitting in the cafeteria when these two girls walk up to me. They kept complimenting me. And I was so confused because these were the most popular girls in the school, so after they kept saying how pretty I finally asked them what they wanted. And one of the girls named Gabby told me I'm invited to her birthday party that was later that day. I was so happy, so I kindly accepted. Later that day the girl who invited me sent me her address. So when it was time I got my mom to drop me off there. I walked up to the door and knocked a couple times and nobody answered, so I waited for almost an hour and realized no one lived there. I was so angry now because it started raining outside and I had no way to get home because my mom was on a dinner date and I had told her to come get me at 8 p.m. and then it was 4 p.m. So I started to walk home and the whole
So when I was little, my mom took me and my brother to the local pool. I was 12, he was 4. So while my mom and I sunbathed, he played in the kiddie pool. When all of a sudden he comes up to us and says, "Mommy, I gotta go pee-pee." And instead of taking him to the bathroom, my mom said, "Go pee-pee in the pool." Shame on you, Carol Ann. We continued to lay out in the sun until all of a sudden we hear everyone scream. Oh my God, some kids peeing in the kiddie pool. Torian didn't understand, and he went over to the kiddie pool, pulled down his pants, and pee-peed like he was peeing in the toilet. But my mom is clever, and she pretended like she didn't know whose kid it was. And we never went back to that pool again.
Story time about how I found out that my mom was sleeping with my history teacher to get me better grades. So it was my junior year of high school, and everybody knows that your junior year is the most important year of high school. If you didn't, well, now you know. My brother was in his senior year of high school, and when he was a junior, he had the same teacher, so he knew how hard the class was. So he would stay up with me every night helping me to pass my history class. Well, the one day I'm at school and I'm taking a test, and I literally did not know anything on the test. And I studied the night before for literally 4 hours straight. So I decided to copy off the girl next to me. Well, a few days later, we get our test back, and I'm looking at mine, and I got a 97%. And then I look over to the girl next to me, she got a 33%. And then I started going through the tests, and none of the essay questions looked like my handwriting, but I didn't say anything because I wanted that A. Well, the one night, I'm sitting down with my family having dinner, and I told them that I copied off the girl next to me, and how I got a 97% and she got a 33%, and my brother flips out like for part 2.